Shalom. First thing and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor that is due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakwadash. I'd like to give double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone that rule well. Blessings and salutations to the whole elect. News in the gospel, broad, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is another lesson through the Spirit, titled Slanders is Part of This Thing. All right? Slanders is part of this thing, is part of this walk of ours. As you brothers out there, maybe you young brothers out there, you may be new to the faith, and some things may come off as being a little strenuous through the Spirit because slander, and things that other guys say from other groups. Like the big thing now, outside of us being bums and all this other detestable nonsense, is that we grapists. And that's a damning term to put on somebody, especially when that's a false accusation. And the scriptures goes into a false accusation being worse than death, because you got men in this thing, man, that basically slander us and say all manners of evil towards us because they hate us, all because we rebuke, we reprove, we correct. And you got men, they don't like that shit, man. Okay, the newest t-shirt of the week, as the apostles always say, is this guy by the name of Deacon Destruction Mode, and you got his sidekick Hassad, which were formerly members of the Sakari camp. Basically, he did a hour and 42-minute video on Meet GMS, black coat that wants to take little girls. Like, when people hear that, man, and you're putting that label on us, that make people want to do something to you, especially when that's not the case, because these guys are so hell-bent on trying to destroy the words of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai because of their Western ideologies and their emotional sentiments. They feel necessarily to slander us in that pocket, but it's all good, because the Lord said, would you render me a recompense? Surely I will return your recompense upon your own head. So just like Polite, and they brought that up too, they said that Polite took from the great millstone doctrine. Like, nah, nigga, Polite ain't take none from us. Polite did what he did because he's a demon. But yet he tried to throw that in there and say, oh, brother Polite did that because he was listening to y'all. No, that's not true, because Polite had more of a influence with you guys than he did with us, because we didn't really vibe with Polite like that. But now he's in jail for accusing us of what he did. The same thing with you other guys out there. All that shit you talk about us, eventually the Lord is going to punch your ticket. But for you young brothers out there, man, don't get disenchanted. Don't get disingenuous. Don't get afraid. Just keep teaching the word, man, because the Lord is going to reveal who his true men is. Okay, so I just got a couple of precepts. Man, we'll get a couple of precepts and we'll end it. But I want to look up the word slander definition real quick and give you some understanding on it through the Spirit. And it goes here: of a crime or action of making false spoken statement damaging a person's reputation. Okay, misinterpretation of character, malicious gossip, smear campaigning, and this is what these guys are on, a smear campaign. Also because they're hurt, because the Spirit of the Lord is not dealing with them and he rejected them niggas. Same thing what Esau is going to do when he tries to bring down the ministry. He's going to demonize the brothers, man. He's going to demonize all Israelites, but, he's going to shed the light on us. And he's going to have these guys to help him because, just like the ancient or the old scribes and Pharisees and the wicked high priests and the Sadducees, they came against Yahweh Shai and they sought throughout the coast of Israel to bring false accusers to Yahweh Shai, man. And Yahweh Shai said, he said, look, I've openly spoke and taught in the synagogues with you, and yet you bring staves and shit like that to try to take me out. But he said, when I preached openly in the synagogue, you didn't even try to put your hands on me. So what's the deal? Is that the brother right there? Huh. But anyway, this is the book of Psalms 31 and 13. And it reads, matter of fact, let's start at verses 10. It says, for my life is spent with grief, and my years were sighing, and my strength fell because of my iniquity, and my bones are consumed. Remember, this is a plea from King David. It says, I was a reproach among all my enemies, especially among my neighbors. And your neighbors are your brothers. Okay, and we've been constantly reproached by these other groups because, for the simple fact, we correct them. We correct them, then they want to take it personal. Because like I said, these men in their mindset, they're above correction. And that fucking hour and 42-minute video was nothing but slanderous gossip. That's all it was, because everything he said in there was a lie. And we've broke that down several times. And you still got ancient custom you still have cultures out there that still adhere to those ancient customs. Okay, it was nothing for a man in the ancient world to take a young wife. I mean, it's just what it was. They're a totally different mindset than what they is today. So you can't sit up there and put that stigma on today, because we're not talking about today. And nobody's talking about taking no fucking young women and doing anything with them. You tripping, bro. But they use that to play on the emotions of these people in their congregation, so therefore they can have a following, because without us, these guys are irrelevant. But it reads, it says, I was a reproach among my enemies, but especially among my neighbors, and a fear to my acquaintance that did see me without fled from me. But I am forgotten as a dead man out of mind, and I am like a broken vessel. Verse 13, for it says, for I've heard the slander of many. Fear was on every side, and while they took counsel together against me, they devised to take away my life. And spiritually, these guys are slaying us, man. Because let's just say if you got a guy that's not wrapped too tight and he's a big time simp, and he's gung-ho over women, or his daughter may have got grabbed up, or his wife or something like that may have had a bad childhood or something happened to her. You got guys that'll go off hinge and they'll start attacking brothers off that shit, man. So that's very dangerous to put somebody in that predicament, or to say things that's not true, especially when you're taking the breakdowns out of context. You know, and you can see it in his spirit. And that fucking Dakar, he's a fucking gremlin, man. That's a dude. He's a real devil. If I ever seen, he's a short 4-foot demon. If I ever seen one, because he think everything is a goddamn joke. But see, when the Lord starts to touch these guys, then we gonna see who the joker's on. Okay, because that guy is straight evil. That's an evil McNigga right there. You know, you have brothers giving him the benefit of the doubt. When I first looked at him, I'm like, nah, this guy ain't right. You could just tell, you could just see something in certain guys' spirit and know that they ain't right from the get-go. And the Lord has blessed me with that spirit of discernment to a degree, you know, that I'm able to call things out as I see it, even if I don't speak on it right away. But he ain't right, man. None of them guys are right. And I'm standing on that until they prove wrong. And it reads here, it says, for I heard the slander of many. Fear was on every side, and while they took counsel together against me, they devised to take away my life. But I trusted in thee, O Yahweh, and I said, thou art my power, and my times are in thy hand, and deliver me from the hand of my enemies and from them that persecute me, man. Because this is really persecution. Like, you know, brothers, when we teach, they say, oh, yeah, the persecution is going to come. Look, brothers, the persecution has already started. Okay? Whether you getting persecuted through the spirit or when it's physical, it started, and it's going to continue to ramp up until we get up out of here, man. Because this man's kingdom is getting ready to go down, and all the jakes that's in correspondence to Esau and his wickedness, they're going to go down with him, and they know that. You know, because what I'm seeing now is that a lot of Israelites are not taking this thing serious. You know, they feel like they still have time on a shot clock to play around and fumble the ball and miss layups. Nah, man, we in clutch mode. Okay, every shot you shoot got to count. Every board you grab, you got to make it count, man. Every defensive rip or steal you get off ball, you got to make it count. Okay, you can't be blowing layups and missing free throws, man. We in clutch time, bro. You know, and guys are acting like this thing is a joke. All right, so this is the book of Psalms 105, and I'm gonna start at verses 5. It says, whosoever privily slandereth his neighbor, him would I cut off. Okay, and they say that we slander people. No, we just bring out the facts. And yeah, sometimes when we do correct, it do be harsh. But you have to understand the difference between slander and harsh rebuke, or strong rebuke, or sharp rebuke. The scriptures say, rebuke them sharply that they may be sound in the faith. You guys can't take rebuke because you're emotional. You know, a video about Ezekiel 38 and correcting the breakdown turns to slander. Oh, you guys are slandering us. How we slander? We just correct the breakdown. Okay, we ain't coming after your mothers, your families, and stuff like that, or your children. We ain't coming after that. But yet, you know, they want to put this badge of shame on us like we're out here doing that, man. And you know how emotional Jake is. And it says, whosoever privily slander his neighbor, him would I also cut off. Him would I cut off. And him that have a high look and a proud heart will I not suffer. And them dudes are proud as hell. Okay, like I said, you could see the gremlin spirit in them. They think it's a joke, man, all because they butt hurt. And the Most High is getting ready to break up all them groups, man, because ain't none of them are set up by Yahweh Shimi Hawashai. Are they teaching Israel? Yeah, of course. You know, is that a good work? Yeah, definitely. You know, they serve their purpose, but even then, that don't make you men of the Lord. That don't make you righteous. Okay, you got 2/3 out here having dreams of America being destroyed and having visions of the microchip, but is the Lord dealing with them on an interpersonal level? Fuck no. So it's the same thing with you dudes. All right, Proverbs 10, and I'm going to start at verses 18. It says, he that hideth hatred with lying lips, and he that uttereth slander is a fool, man. Okay? Calling somebody a fucking rapist, that's a damning thing. You know? That's a damning thing. And like I said, man, as time progresses, things are going to get worse. You know, when Esau comes down with the authorities, you brothers, we just got to hold on, man, and stay tight, stay fervent. Because they going to throw the kitchen sink at us. They going to dig into your life, man. They going to bring up the fact that you was an orphan. They going to say, oh, you got a criminal past. You used to steal bicycles. You used to stick people up. You used to beat your wife, whatever, man. You know, or you abuse your kid, whatever they can find, they going to try to throw the kitchen sink at you. And not only us, them dudes going to get it too. But see, the difference between us and them is that they're going to falter under pressure. We're going to stand firm because we understand that the Lord is going to deliver us through these things. Because the people that's going to come from it for us, they ain't too fucking right themselves, man. Okay, remember, you are dealing with a government of pedos. Okay, they deal with trafficking. They got kids and they fund the whole trafficking shit. They put billions of dollars behind that, and they pay the cartel off to grab up people and send them to these high-level officials, man. You know, like this guy Biden. His daughter, I think Ashley, got a whole allegation against him. Says she used to have to take showers late at night because our father used to peep in on her. But these are the same people that's going to try to accuse us for something we ain't doing. Hypocrisy at its finest, you know. But this is the book of Jeremiah 6, and I'm going to start at verses 27. And it says here, I have set thee for a tower and a fortress among my people, that thou mayest know and try their way. Yeah, we're a tower. We're watching, man. We're set up to reprove Jake. This is why Jake hate the prophets. But it says, but they are all grievous revolters, walking with slanders. They are brass and iron. They are all corrupters, man. Okay? And that's talking about you wicked 2/3 out there. You wicked Israelites. You know, that call yourselves Israelites, whether you want to be a elder, a deacon, a chief high priest, whatever the hell you want to call yourself. Pop, whatever, man. At the end of the day, you're all dumb dogs, and you ain't barking the correct tune of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. And this is why, according to 1 Peter 4:17, the Lord said that judgment should start in the house of Israel first, man. Okay? Romans 3:7, it says, for if the truth of the Most High have more abounded through my lie unto his glory, why yet I am also judged as a sinner. Right? You know, because Paul was persecuted, you know, and Paul used guile in a righteous way to get men to convert, but not to the point of sin. But and rather, as we be slanderously reported, and as some affirm that we say, let us do evil that good may come, whose damnation is just. Okay? So that's the point. No. All right? This is the book of Sirach 26:5. And it reads here, it says, there be 3 things in my heart that my heart feareth. It says, and the 4th I was so afraid. The slander of a city, and the gathering together of a unruly multitude, and a false accusation. All these are worse than death, because when you're accused falsely, then you have to kind of go and clear your name. You got to go out there. You got to get the proof, because let's just say if you was at work or you was at the gym working out, but all of a sudden Esau, one of his deep pics or one of his AI pics, have you running into a store and robbing a bank. Now they put you on the news, or they have you kidnapping somebody, but yeah, you in the gym getting gains, but yeah, he got you on NBC doing some heinous shit. Now the people are not smart enough to dissect that and say, wait a minute, this ain't in this guy's character to even do something like that. And all of a sudden they see you what appears to be you, some AI shit, because AI is real, man. And then you have those real prosthetic masks, you know, which Esau uses to commit crimes, man. Like I said, I won't be surprised if they have replicas of all of us. I'm talking about from the missing beard hairs to everything, you know, to the receding hairline. Esau is the devil. It says that he sit in the lurking villages of the poor, you know, and he roughly paraphrasing it, he sit in the lurking villages and he persecute the poor. He lurks, man. So he may have the exact replica of your face to the gap in your teeth, man, because this is the devil. But people would see that and say, oh, see, these guys are this and this and that, not knowing that's not in your character. So now you go before authorities, you got to try to prove that that wasn't you through timestamps. But going to the gym, you got to prove you was there at that certain time. But even then, they going to still stick it to you because of their hatred. Well, yeah, it do say that you clocked in the gym at that time, but maybe somebody took your badge and used it for you. Here they got you on camera doing push-ups and chin-ups, and yet all of a sudden some demon with a mask on that look like he runs out of a fucking convenience store, you know, shoplifting or whatever they may be. And yet they come roll on you and throw you in a damn paddy wagon and throw you in jail. You know, now you got to pay all this money for a lawyer. That's even if they let you out. Because at the time of a collapse or at the time of an emergency, they suspend habeas corpus, and then they can detain you indefinitely without a court date. So they can hold you as long as they deem fit, you know. Here you in a damn death camp over something you ain't doing, then you have other Israelites, see, we told you, them guys was like that, you know. And that's just gonna be the fate for some brothers. It's unfortunate, but then again, you still gonna get that crown of life, you know, because Yahweh Shai was persecuted. He was falsely accused. Shit, Carl. But it says here in a false accusation, all these are worse than death. Okay? Fucking car started overheating, man. It's Satan. I gotta get a new thermostat or radiator or whatever, but this shit ain't right. Anyway, Sirach 51, and I'm gonna start at verses 2. It says here, for thou art my defender and my helper, and hast preserved my body from destruction, and from the snare of the slanderous tongue, which is you Israelites, man, and from the lips that forge lies, and has been my helper against my adversary, and have delivered me according to the multitude of thy mercies and greatness of thy name, and from the teeth of them that were ready to devour me, and out of the hands of such as sought my life, and from the manifold afflictions which I had, man. Okay? So yeah, Yahweh Shai is going to deliver us from these said endeavors. We just got to stay faithful, stay prayed up, and keep faith in Yahweh Shai, and we're going to be all good, brothers. But anyway, with that, all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Lord's will, you were edified. Until the next lesson. Shalom.